Hello everyone, thanks for checking out today's video. Welcome to my channel, Jersey Shore Pondscapes Videos. My name is Chris and I have a ton of videos here on this channel all about koi ponds, water gardens, waterfalls, pond filtration, aquatic plants, fish, the whole bit. If you're into this stuff, you're looking to build a pond, you have one, you have some questions, or you just want to try to learn a little bit more about something, hopefully I have some videos here that can help you out. Use the playlists. I have different categories broken down here with all kinds of videos to help you navigate and find your way around a little bit easier. So again, thank you for checking out the video. Today we're just doing a quick video about something that comes up quite often, and that is, why are koi so expensive? I'm going to try to do my best to explain to you some things that go into the price of a koi fish, and you know, we'll just dive into this a little bit. So many times, you know, with new clients that I have, or just I just hear it when I'm in the store, and people are not so much complaining, but questioning. You know, why are koi so expensive? You know. One time years ago, I used to have a saltwater fish tank, and I used to go up to a big store that sold all kinds of saltwater fish and corals and invertebrates and stuff for reef tanks and the whole bit, and they had some really nice stuff. And I remember walking around in that store and looking at some fish, and there was another little couple family there looking around, and all they kept saying is like, "Oh my gosh, $250 for a fish? Who would spend that kind of money on a fish? What if it dies?" Right? Now I remembered that from years ago because I still hear that today. Right? What if it dies? Who would spend that kind of money on a fish? That's ridiculous, you know. So my first thought reaction to that is, well, if you know what you're doing, the fish won't die. Chances are the fish won't die, right? If you're looking to spend, you know, $200, $300, $400, $500, $1,000 on a fish, chances are you know what you're doing, and you are going to provide that fish with a healthy and safe environment where it will thrive and hopefully, you know, not die tomorrow, right? It's part of a hobby, right? Especially koi. You know, having that special fish, having something, you know, when you're putting koi into your pond, you're not just buying a fish and throwing fish in, right? Your koi are selected. They're your prized possessions in that pond. They are, you know, what you built this pond for. So koi owners, right, are really into their fish. And sometimes to spend extra money or a lot of money on a particular fish that they really like, not that price is not an object, but it becomes kind of secondary, right? I really love that fish. It would look beautiful in my pond. There's just something special about that fish that I want. And you know what? If it's $200, if it's $500, or whatever the price of it may be, if you want it and you want to put that fish and add it to your pond, you will. All right? And like I said, chances are you're going to know how to take care of it, right? So that it doesn't die. You know, people have a misconception of, like, you know, winning the little goldfish in the little goldfish bowl at the fair, you know, and then you bring it home and you throw it in a room and a week later it's dead, right? Yeah, it's a little bit different, right? When you are a pond owner, a koi collector, you know, you're a hobbyist, you're into this. But still, right, what makes koi so expensive? So there's a number of reasons, all right? And we're going to try to dive into this a little bit. First off, I am not a koi breeder, right? I am not a koi retailer. I don't sell koi. Honestly, whenever I build a pond for somebody and, you know, they ask me about getting fish, I don't want any part of it. All right. Reason being, most of the time, the families want to go and buy their own fish, right? They want to pick out their own fish, and it becomes a fun thing. You know, the kids each pick out a fish, you know, the parents pick out fish, and that's their thing. So to me, you know, I build you the pond, I create the environment, I, you know, do all that, and then you go buy the fish that you want. So I kind of stay out of it for the most part. But, you know, I have worked in retail and in a store that sold pond stuff and plants and fish and the whole bit many years ago. So I do have a good idea of what it is all about. And of course, I've been in this business of building ponds and stuff for almost 30 years now. So I will tell you that every store that has fish probably buys them from different places. Okay, there are a lot of different places, wholesalers, breeders, to buy koi from. Not only koi, but all other fish. But we're going to focus on koi here today. And I know that as I don't want to say gimmick, but a lot of these dealers will give different koi names and categories, quality-wise, right? We have select, we have double A select, we have triple A select. You know, some you know, a grade A koi or grade 1 koi or grade 2 koi. The different companies name them all differently, okay? To get more money for the fish, all right? You know, a grade A koi, 6 to 8 inch fish may be, you know, $50. A grade double A koi, 6 to 8 inch fish may be $75, right? So they can get more money on them. And that's basically going to be dependent on the colors of the fish, right? The quality of the fish. You know, health-wise, hopefully they're all healthy. So we're not paying for a healthier fish over a, you know, a sick fish. We're paying for colors and color patterns and what a fish look like. Now, there's a lot that goes into that, because a small koi, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, can change a lot of its color patterns as it gets older. Now, I'm not saying that if you buy a, you know, red and black koi, that, you know, that's, you know, 5, 6 inches, that when he gets 18, 20 inches, he's going to have yellow in him. I'm not saying that. But the percentage of red and black in a small koi can change drastically in an adult, a mature koi. So sometimes spending a lot of money on a small fish in the long run doesn't quite turn out the same way, okay? So that's another reason why larger fish are that much more expensive, because their color patterns probably will not change very much once they're matured and a larger size. Smaller fish can change a lot, okay? Now, you're paying for quality, okay? And every breeder is going to have different ratings of their quality, right? Like I said, some may call them a grade A, a select, a grade B, you know, all kinds of different things, okay? And that's basically so they can make more money with better looking fish, all right? Now, what's beautiful to you is the most important thing, okay? If you go to the store and you see a 6 to 8 inch fish that's, you know, grade A, and then you see a 6 to 8 inch fish that's grade B, and it's a lot cheaper, but yet you still like that fish, you buy that fish. Okay? You don't need to buy the grade A super select, It's what your eye sees. Okay? It's what you see that you like. And I've seen that a lot. Okay? I've gone to see a ton of koi, and I've said, this is a really pretty fish, and this one's cheaper than that. Okay? It's all up to you. I'm just saying you don't have to buy the most expensive koi to make it, beautiful. Now, that being said, large Japanese koi are beautiful, okay? And you are definitely paying a premium price. There's just something about them, all right? They're really, really beautiful fish. They're like, they call them living art, all right? Now, so you're paying for different colors, color patterns, size, okay? I will say that for the most part, for me, if you are not a serious hobbyist looking for specific color patterns and fish and stuff, then don't buy big ones. Buy the small ones. They grow fast, okay? They grow fast, and they'll be beautiful as well, okay? Yeah. Now, what else goes into the price of the koi? Once your koi retailers, your stores have them, okay, they've been buying them from all different companies from all over creation, right? And every company sells at different prices, right? Might be pretty close, but some may cost a little bit more than others. So you can have, 3 different pond stores, near your house. I'm just saying, and all of them will have, say, a 8 to 10 inch fish. Yet this guy's fish, maybe $75. I'm just throwing numbers out. This guy's fish may be $100. This guy's fish may be $125. So is the $125 one better than the $75 one? No. All right? It depends on what they're paying for the fish from their suppliers. All right? And it also depends on the investment that these stores have put into their systems too, that they have to pay for. Okay? Remember, these are businesses. Okay? And one, they're out to make money. Okay? You have to be. If you're not making money, you're not in business. But what goes into keeping all those fish in these stores? All right? The filtration systems, the holding tanks, the water treatments, the food, the electricity, right? The insurance to pay, to keep the business running, the, payroll on your employees. There's a lot of overhead, all right, that has to be paid for in order to sell you those fish. So it is a business. So depending on what everybody's investment is and what their overhead is, will determine how much money too that they need to stay in business to sell these fish. So there's so much that can fluctuate and change in the price of a koi. I guess my point is, again, is the $75 koi, poor quality, and $100 koi is better quality? In some cases, it might be. But really, probably not. All right? It's probably more of, what the store is paying for that fish wholesale. Where is that fish being shipped in from? Is that fish being shipped from, 200 miles away? Is it being shipped to them for 3,000 miles away? Is it coming from Japan? The shipping on a box of fish from Japan to, the United States is going to be a lot more, okay? So we have shipping costs, on top of the cost of the fish. we have all the maintenance to maintain them, to feed them, to treat the water, to keep them healthy, to pay employees to do all this, to clean the filters and do water changes and quarantine fish and the whole bit. There's a lot that goes into it. So why are they so expensive? Well, there's a lot of money going into selling you those fish that sometimes people don't realize. They just walk into the store and see fish and the prices and go, oh my gosh, okay. Now, the other thing is, larger fish, what, how do they determine how much a fish should cost? And honestly, I believe a lot of it is just, we're going to make it what we want to make it. What is somebody willing to pay for it? All right. It's like an old vintage car, an old classic car, right? What's that car worth? Well, there's no set price, right? I mean, you can have two, or let's say, 10 1969 Corvettes, right? All in beautiful condition, maybe different color paint, maybe a couple little options different in each one. But what, are they all going to sell for the same price? Probably not, right? So it's worth what people are willing to pay for it, right? That's what it's going to be worth. Now, some beautiful large koi, I mean, there's a range, a typical range in which the fish can be sold for, but the exact price that puts on it, that may be negotiable too. Now, years ago, I went to a pond store and they had a big display pond. And I was standing there looking. They had all kinds of fish in the pond, from goldfish to shabbunkins to, koi, small koi, a couple large koi, everything kind of swimming around. And I was sitting there looking. And one of the guys that worked at the store came over to me and said, hi, and, can I help you with anything? Do you need help? And I said, no, I'm just looking around. And he says, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, what do you think of that fish over there? Look at that one. That's a $5,000 fish. And there was this big butterfly. He was probably, 24 inches. Big butterfly. But honestly, not an attractive fish. Dull colors, just nothing special. All right. And, the kid is like, I knew what fish he was talking about because it was the biggest fish in the pond, right? And he's like, yeah, look at that. That's a $5,000 fish. And I'm playing the game. Where? I don't see that. Yeah, that one right there. Where? Which one? That one, He's like, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. I was just screwing with him. $5,000 for that fish because it's just big? It's ugly as hell. Right? It was ugly. They want $5,000 for that fish. Are they going to get it? Probably not. Eventually somebody will probably come and say, hey, listen, all right, I'll give you $3,000 for it, which was probably even nuts too. So yeah, what's the fish worth? It's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Now, if that was a big, beautiful, Japanese Showa, I would say, okay, maybe that is, worth close to that. Probably not. Still, that's a big price. But, this garden center, the store was trying to hit a home run by selling that fish for $5,000, Anyway, so yeah, what goes into the price of these fish? And there's definitely a high markup on them. But there's a lot of money that goes into taking care of them. Like I said, the maintaining, the maintenance, the filter systems, the food, the whole setup to hold these fish in, right? To keep them healthy, the employees, the insurance, the electric, everything, all that overhead that you don't think about is a big number. All right. So to sell these fish and provide The fish for people to purchase is not cheap. And buying them, shipping them, and you're going to have some loss. I mean, they're going to have some loss. You bring in, sometimes these fish come from the wholesalers. Depending on their size, there could be 50 fish in a bag. There could be 10 fish and 12 fish, 2 fish. Sometimes, in shipment and all the stress from moving, some fish die, and that's loss as well. So a lot of things can go into it, but definitely my best advice to you is don't get caught up in I have to have the grade A select, triple platinum fish. No, whatever looks good to you. Okay, a lot of beautiful fish out there. And once you get them home and you put them in your pond, and you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna think that fish is really pretty, and that's what's the most important thing. So, what you're happy with, you get a nice price on the fish. Know what you're paying for, as far as where you're buying it from is very important. Buy it from a reputable retailer that takes care of their fish and cares. Some of these big, huge chain pet shops that sell fish and stuff, you got to be careful, because they're just in it to make money. And they bring fish in, they just throw them in a tank and sell them. There's not a lot of maintenance and care that goes into making sure that every one of those fish are healthy and parasite and bacteria and fungus free, okay, when they sell them. So definitely, be aware from that. Buy it from a good source. Buy what you like. Buy what you think is pretty. Buy what you are going to be happy with, and watch them grow. They do great. All right. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight, kind of makes you feel a little bit better about why you're paying high prices and why you're paying higher prices. But it's definitely, dependent on the store, the investments, where they're buying them from, the shipment, the maintenance, and also, with koi, when koi lay eggs, you don't get 3,000 beautiful fish, right? The number of fish that are really beautiful is small. The amount of fish that are, nice looking is a little bit better. The amount of fish that are, ugly, browns, grays, is pretty high. So as fish get culled out, the beautiful ones are, believe me, more scarce and rare than just brown, gray, or black koi. All right? So, that goes into it as well. All right, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're into all this ponds, water gardens, all that kind of stuff. I have a ton of videos here for you, and I have a lot of fun doing it for you. So I really appreciate the support in return. It keeps me going and keeps me wanting to do more and more for you. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back again soon. Have a great day. Bye.